Hey guys, Daniel here once again. I'm so excited to be here on the second video, which I will cover the basics. They exist for a reason, and this will be a very short video. I'll just give you, an overview of what you need to have in place right now in order to get more subscribers and to make sure you don't lose on any opportunity to, get them. So the username is quite important. I remember when I started my Twitter account, I started it, and I immediately, once I created my blog, I came here to Twitter to get a username, and I didn't follow around with Twitter for I don't know 2-3 weeks or something, just because I was busy, setting the entire blog around it. But it's quite important to get a good username. I decided to go with Writing College, and that is very important that it has, at least some part of your name on it, of your website. I remember Online Writing College username was quite big, I think, for Twitter. So I didn't want to go with Online Writing. I think it was taken, I'm not sure. So I went with Writing College, which focus on what I have, which is writing, and what I'm building, which is like education on making money online with your writing. So I think it's quite important that that your name focus on whatever you're selling. So don't go around, picking a name that it's not suggestive of your niche, of whatever it is that you're selling or trying to sell. So that's the first thing, obviously, that you want to look for. The image of your website, let me go to my profile here, is also quite important. As I told you before, this was created by a designer that I got on Fiverr. I'm not, as I told you before, I'm not big on design, and obviously this is not a landmark of beauty in terms of design, but it does the trick. My profile pic is currently my logo, which it's a little bit pixelated, I think, and I'm working right now with another designer, to make this more appealing. But if you look around some of the big names, they all have great profile pics. Let me look for I don't know, Pro Blogger here, which is quite a famous page. I'm sure you're aware of it. It's run by Darren Rose. So he has his own name on it, but then Pro Blogger is it's his username. And if you look around this page, you can see that you see his picture here, just himself, and then it has a good timeline cover, or head photo, as Twitter call it. It emphasizes his credibility, and this is quite important. So it's a high definition picture as well, both the head and the photo in itself, and that is quite important to have in your Twitter profile. So don't discard that. I just talked about the timeline cover photo. This is, I think, the name for Facebook, but Twitter calls it head photo. But anyway, and also the call to action is quite important. If I go around to my web page again, to my profile, I have a call to action, which is grab your free report today, and then you can click here, and then it directs to my page. At this moment, it's going to my blog, which they can subscribe here at the top. But make sure you optimize this area for whatever it is that you want your users to do. So if you want them to engage with you, tweet with you, make sure you list that here. If you want them to subscribe to something or to buy something, this is where you put your call to action. So I recommend that you give it a little hashtags. Also mention some other people. I'm not sure you saw before, but Pro Blogger had that. Mention someone. As I develop my page, I'm actually going to do that. Especially in my niche, it's quite common to know, if you have regular clients, saying I'm a professional copywriter at and then you list your client's name because that's someone you work with closely, and you can do this in basically every niche you want to. So if you're mentioning some other people, you will get traffic just from that mention as well. Also from a few of the hashtags. Don't use them a lot. I've been playing around with this, and I might discard in this week or next week's, or in the future, I might discard the free hashtag. I might, fumble around with the hashtags a little bit and use hashtag, freelance writing instead of hashtag writing hashtag freelance, which is kind of more general. And just test whatever the best results you get, and also get this link to be trackable to see, how many people are you directing to your website or to your offer or whatever it is with this specific link. So make sure that that's something that you can track. So that's the call to action, and I think I left it to be last, but it's last but not least. The pin post, the pin tweet I think it's one of the most important things. So whenever they are directed here, I just got a follower just like a couple of minutes ago, and sometimes they check my page and they come here, and the first thing they see, it's another call to action. So that's also trackable. So I get a few subscribers from there. It's quite important to have a pinned post on whatever it is that you are trying to convey to your audience. So that whenever they come to your profile, that's the first thing they immediately see. Obviously, this is not the best picture to have here. I realize that. I'm working on it as well. I have a couple of things that I'm trying to change. Live and learn. But it did get retweeted and favorite twice. So just because I have this on the top of my page, some other people thought it was good information. Then they retweeted. Maybe they grabbed my guide and thought, hey, my followers could use this. And obviously I've got some signups from here as well. So make sure that your profile is optimized in terms of design. That's quite important. And as well that you have all the tools and all the things ready to direct people to whatever action that you need them to take, or that you want them to take. That is quite important. Have a look. I'm gonna cut this video short, but have a look at influencers on your niche to make sure that you understand their techniques. I learn a lot just by analyzing other people and seeing how they, use their head cover photo to have a link as well for their website, especially if it's, a very short link. Their picture, sometimes people like to put like the picture, it's part of the header photo. You see a lot of this in Facebook, and it can, if done correctly, it can work miracles. But in general, just have the call to action very visible. It's something that people can do very easily to reach your website or whatever you want them to reach, and your pinned tweet as well. So I just wanted to give this overview to make sure that you were covered in anything that you were starting out, and to make sure that you're not missing on opportunities to get some more subscribers. Hopefully you have all of this in place, and if that is the case, great thing. But I just wanted to get it out there that you need to have the first things first, and then we'll build on from there. And so on the second video we will start talking some more about techniques and things that I use to get followers, subscribers and so on. And now that we got this out of the way. So I'll see you there in the next video, and thanks so much.